days of Ryan Sandberg's managerial career haven't gone all that well, partly because of the Dodgers pitching. Zach Greinke was outstanding in game number 1. He and Cliff Lee locked horns with a fantastic pitcher's duel, but Greinke had every pitch going. You saw the changeup, you saw the fastball. How about this from Hanley Ramirez? He has owned Cliff Lee during his career. Then Paco Rodriguez comes in to get Chase Utley in a tight spot. Then Darren Ruff goes down swinging as Belisario is able to throw that sinker, and the Dodgers took game 1. Game 2, well, Clayton Kershaw was dominant. Not only that, the Phillies just didn't play all that well. Their defense was struggling the entire night. They made 3 errors. At one point, they had more errors than base hits. And then Kershaw, well, he had a big looping curveball. He had his slider. He had his fastball. He had everything going. He went 8 innings for the 7th time in his last 8 starts. He gets Ruiz as a pinch hitter there. That was a big spot in the game because the Phillies had been down just 2-0 at that point. Then Juan Uribe against Luis Garcia for the 2nd straight night. The Dodgers put some insurance runs or run up on the board of the 9th inning. That time it was a 3-run blast from Uribe, and the Dodgers took game 2. And now this afternoon from South Philadelphia, it's the final game of this 3-game series between the Phils and the Dodgers, and Clayton Kershaw was back to work very early today after his 8 shutout innings in last night's ball game. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy along with Chris Wheeler. The Phillies are taking on the hottest team in the National League, probably the hottest team in the majors. They have not allowed a run in 27 consecutive innings, which puts a burden on the Phillies starters. In this case, it's Cole Hamels.
Yeah, Cole Hamels is on the mound for the Phillies today. Talking to Ryan Sandberg before the game, he said, well, maybe I've got one out there today like they've been throwing the last couple days, meaning an ace that can go out and shut an offense down. He was so good in this game the other night. A complete game, worked into the 9th inning with a shutout, finally gave up a run, had all his pitches. He had great command of his fastball early in this game, something you noticed right away, and then was able to use his secondary pitches, kind of like Kershaw did last night and all the great ones do, establish their fastball and then use those out pitches off their off-speed stuff. Here's the final out of the game where Cody Ashley had to step over a bat, not a baseball bat, but a bat, a flying bat there. A good play by Michael Young at first base to end that game. Just a tremendous game there by Cole Hamels. Overall, his record is one of those things you just shake your head at, because look at his last 8 starts, what he's been able to do with an earned run average under 2. Those are Kershaw-like numbers, but because of the struggles this team has had, his one-loss record just doesn't show that, Tom.
And Cole Hamels 3-1 against the Dodgers here at Citizens Bank Park. His opponent today, Ricky Nolasco, 6-2 against the Phillies here at Citizens Bank Park.
Guy they know so well. It seemed like when you play the Marlins, they never would miss Ricky Nolasco. So to see him today in another uniform will seem kind of strange. But this is what happened. They traded him to the Dodgers on July the 6th. This is what he's done with Los Angeles. No surprise, and with this great team that the Dodgers have right now, he goes out there, does his thing, keeps them in the game, and they're going to win a lot of games when Ricky Nolasco goes to the mound. He doesn't walk a whole lot of batters, not a big strikeout guy, but he can get his strikeouts. Has tremendous off-speed stuff. Big old curveball. He'll throw changeup. He sinks his fastball. He can throw a four-seamer when he wants to, throws a slider at any time, and he's a guy that can pitch backwards with the best of them, and he always goes out and competes. And the Phillies have had their good games and bad games against them, but they know any time they face Ricky Nolasco, they have their hands full.
All right, the Phillies are looking for a win. Boy, they need a win. They need to score some runs this afternoon in the final game of this 3-game series between the Phils and the Dodgers. Well, it was a busy day here at Citizens Bank Park. The home run derby for the area kids. Not only softball, but also baseball took place before the ball game. Pretty exciting chance to get out onto the playing field. Lineups at first pitch for today's ball game. Coming up next. Phillies Game series between the Phillies and the Los Angeles Dodgers. The starting 9 have already left their positions with the Phillies starting 9. Let's take a look at the Dodgers lineup. Brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Leading it off at second, Mark Ellis, then Nick Punto and Hanley Ramirez. Yasiel Puig, the right fielder, bats cleanup. Andre Ethier hits 5th. Scott Van Slyke bats 6th. And the bottom third of Jerry Hairston, Tim Fedorovich, and Ricky Nolasco. And they will face Phillies left-hander Cole Hamels, who's making his 26th start of the year.
There's a 1-loss record for Cole Hamels. Certainly does not show the kind of year that he's had. He has thrown 16 home run balls, 13 of them to, or most of them to the right-handed hitters, and they've been on cutters for the most part.
First pitch of the day is in there for a strike, and it's 0-1.
He had a great downward plane on his fastball the other night, right out of the start against the Atlanta Braves, and then really uses off-speed stuff effectively.
That one just missed, and really the same spot, maybe a little lower. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Strange weather day here. The wind's out of the east, and it's blowing almost straight in. You rarely see this in this ballpark, where you have a wind blowing in like this.
Yeah, there are some showers in the area, but we should be fine for the rest of the day, as that fastball is in for strike 2.
Yeah, the wind evidently took it away from here. And there you see the flags. Think about coming to this ballpark, how many times you see that pattern. So actually, we'll knock some balls down. Pitchers should like that.
Hamels is ahead, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And that one's lined right at Franzen at first, 1 away.
And positioned perfectly there with nobody on base, playing way off the line like that. The right-handed hitter hit her right at him. You can see where Franzen is right here. And the baseball is going to go right to him because they have him off the line right there. Just a lot of right-handed hitters, you play them that way when you don't have to hold them on. And you don't have to hold somebody on.
Wills, it was nice that you decided to choose circle number 2 instead of circle number 1.
Yeah, well, I had to put my glasses on to find it.
Nick Punto fouls one back. It's 0-1. What do you think happened to circle number 1?
I don't know. How did that happen?
I have no idea. That's your toy. It's not mine. Punto's having a good year off the bench for the Dodgers. .262 with 2 home runs and 20 runs batted in. He's had an incredible month of August for a guy who doesn't play every day. He's hitting .458 with 8 RBIs in 10 August games.
He's been a very valuable utility player for a lot of teams. He broke in as a young kid with the Phillies and moved over to Minnesota early on, then has bounced around. He was here with the Cardinals. Well, he was here that 1-0 game. You can bring that one up.
Now tip, and it's 1-2.
He's the one who fielded the ground ball when Ryan Howard went down with the Achilles tear.
Punto was sent to the Twins from the Phillies in the deal that brought Eric Milton over from Minnesota. Carlos Silva was also part of that deal. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Punto, who is 1 for 3 lifetime against Hamels. That one's off the hands, out towards short, right past Martinez. Boy, a ball that it looked like he should have had, and I think it knuckled right past him.
Yeah, well, it took the hop, and he just misplayed the hop. And I don't know.
Well, Punto still runs pretty well, but I still think he had a chance to get him.
Well, I think what he's trying to do, see how the hop took it took a kind of a higher hop than he thought it was going to take. Yeah. Then right there, he just misplays the hop, and now it hits his glove and kicks off. He probably also was thinking, I'm going to catch it, pirouette, and throw to first to get something on it, and trying to do too much at the same time and just doesn't make the play, even though it's a hit. It could have been made.
So Nick Punto's aboard. A 1-out single here in the first. That'll bring Hanley Ramirez to the plate. Ramirez has reached base safely in 16 of his last 19 games, although he had 9 days off in the middle of that because of a sore shoulder. He has a couple RBIs in this series, and the reason he's playing today is because when he's healthy, he plays every day, but he also has had success against Hamels.
That's an understatement. He's one of the guys with the Marlins that they had some great battles. He would hit him, and Cole would strike him out.
Throw a change up, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Jamie Moyer and Cole Hamels used to have really good games against the Marlins with all those big swingers they had, or other days they'd get them.
Toss over to first. Punto read it, so he's back without a tag. Davey Lopes is back in the first base coach's box today for the Dodgers, feeling better. Jose Vizcaíno was over there last night because Davey was under the weather. Low, 2-1.
Ramirez has had some luck with Cliff Lee this year on changeups, and he can guess. He's so quick on a fastball and you foul it off that he can guess off speed sometimes with 2 strikes. Now, whether you do it against a guy like Hamels, they face each other so much. Cole's behind him right now, 2-1. This is a good time to maybe throw him a changeup.
Ground ball to the right of the mound. Hamels has it. He's going to have to go to the bag himself, and the tag is made on Ramirez. Up to second goes Punto.
Well, Hamels felt that somebody was going to be there, obviously, when his head came up. And when his head came up, nobody was there. Then he went into panic mode, but did a very good job because Ramirez wasn't running too hard down the line. And he does throw him a changeup. Watch him squirt it. Kevin Franson gets caught in between right here. He starts a charge for the ball. It's Hamels all the way, and there's no way that Utley can beat him there. Great job by Cole to recover, tag him out, and you see Utley point right away to make sure the runner doesn't go to third. But it was funny to watch Hamels react when he caught the ball, looked up, and he's all ready to flip it, and there's nobody there. And he thought, oh, it's all on me.
Thankfully, he realized it because he was still able to win the race to the bag.
And he was close enough, too. But that's something that, Franson doesn't play a lot of first base, and you have to read that's the pitcher's going to go get that one.
Here's Yasiel Puig. Puig 2 for 8 in the series with a double. He had a base hit in last night's ball game in his first at bat, then doubled later on in the game. Phillies did strike him out in last night's game, which is kind of surprising. Just because we haven't seen him strike out all that much, but he's out front of a changeup, and it's 0-1.
Cole has a really good changeup here in the first inning. Hopefully it'll continue for a while here this afternoon. They do have some guys that are a little bit wild swingers.
Foul tip, and it's 0-2. 94-mile-an-hour fastball from Hamels.
Puig's funny when he swings and misses. He looks up in the air a lot of times like, how'd that happen? We'll get used to it. It'll happen more. He is a tremendous talent. There's a good pitcher. They established fastball in. Now they can go away. It's time now for our Nissan keys to today's game. A really pleasant afternoon here for the players with the overcast. Where we talk about needing to win. How about a run for Ryne Sandberg as a new man? They haven't even scored yet. And a very familiar foe for the Phillies out on the mound this afternoon in Ricky Nolasco.
Out towards center field. It's not deep. Wells comes running in. Martinez goes out. Martinez makes the call. And the side is retired. There's that wind Wills was talking about. It brought it back toward the infield. Make it easy play for Martinez. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. To the bottom of the first we go. Dodgers nothing. Phillies coming up. take a look at the lineup for today's ball game, brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. It's Martinez, Franzen, and Utley, followed by Dominic Brown, Darren Ruff, and Cody Ashe. Casper Wells in center field bats 7th. Carlos Ruiz hits 8th. And batting 9th at pitching is Cole Hamels, of course, and they'll face right-hander Ricky Nolasco. Carlos Enrique Nolasco making his 26th overall start of the year.
And a really good pitcher, and always has been a good pitcher. Marlins teams haven't been so hot lately, but this is a guy that competes. We talked about it earlier this year that he was going to be a tremendous pickup for somebody who's a contender, and it turned out to be Ned Colletti got him from the Marlins for some minor league players. Their scouting report on it from Budweiser. He can do all kinds of different things with his off-speed stuff. The Phillies have seen him a lot over the years. 18 starts.
Including 9 starts here at Citizens Bank Park, where he's allowed 8 home runs. They'll face Michael Martinez to start it off. Martinez making his 2nd start at shortstop. And he takes on the outside corner.
Ryan Sandberg said he's going to give Jimmy Rollins a day off today and just decided to go this way, put Martinez at the top of the order. He's going to play short and go that way and see if maybe he can get on base and then score some runs. He laughs when you talk to him about getting a run. Didn't think it'd be quite this tough.
Breaking ball in there, 1-2. Phillies have not scored a run since the 9th inning of their final game against the Atlanta Braves. So they've gone 18 innings since their last run. There's a liner hit back to the box softly, knocked down by Nolasco, 1 away. And that'll bring Franzen to the plate. Clayton Kershaw going old school with the sunglasses today. In case he has a pop-up, we'll have to flip those down. He had an outstanding game last night, 8 innings for the Dodgers. And his earned run average dipped down to 1.80. Remarkable number in this day and age.
How fun is his life? Pitch like he does, and then he sit around for 4 days.
25 years old.
Amazing.
Kevin Franzen takes outside.
It does seem funny when Nolasco out there in this uniform. So all the years of watching him with the Marlins and how effective he was.
On the hands, out toward left, not deep. Van Slyke makes the catch. And there are 2 outs here in the first, and that'll bring Chase Utley to the plate. Utley has had his share of success against Nolasco. He has 12 hits in 41 at-bats. Of those 12 hits, 7 are home runs. Utley a .279 hitter with 15 home runs and 45 runs batted in. Takes a strike. It's 0-1.
Ricky Nolasco's not going to overpower anybody with a fastball, but he has, when he's on, he has great command, and then his off-speed stuff, especially his changeup, curveball, are really good out pitches for him, and he'll throw sliders to right-handed hitters.
0-2.
You got to look at it right there when he throw it. That looked like a changeup, and he'll throw that and his curveball for the most part to left-handed hitters.
Balls, 2 strikes to Utley. Outside with a changeup, 1-2. Phillies have not scored in 18 consecutive innings. They have played in their last 16 games with 3 runs or less. You know, we've talked a lot about that stat this entire season. In their last 16 games, they're 0-16. Swing at a foul. Swing and a miss, and it was dug out by Fedorovich, who applies the tag. Side is retired. Phillies go down in order. They're half the first. Up on Thursday night, which is also a 7:05 first pitch. On Wednesday, all fans coming to the ballpark will receive the Cole Hamels bobble figurine, compliments of Pico. To purchase your tickets, you can go to Phillies.com. Top of the second, Andre Ethier leads it off for Los Angeles. Ethier played in last night's ball game, had a base hit and 4 at-bats. Overall, he's 1 for 5 in the series so far. His average 268, 8 home runs, 43 runs batted in. Hits that one well to right center field. He went hunting for a first pitch, and he sends it out of the ballpark. 1-0 Los Angeles. It was a cutter that stayed up in the zone. And Ethier picks up his 9th home run of the year.
4th home run by a left-handed hitter off Hamels, only hitting 240 off him. But as Tom said, he went up there looking for something. Wanted a fastball probably, and he got a cut fastball that stayed out over the plate a little bit. There you see. Oh, it actually was middle in a little bit. And made it even easier for him to just drop the bat hand on it and hit it out of the ballpark. That's what we're talking about. His command of his pitches, especially his fastball, was so good last time out. And that time he makes a mistake with a fastball, cut fastball.
So the Dodgers lead at 1-0. Scott Van Slyke is the batter. Van Slyke, a 242 hitter. He was tearing it up at AAA this year. He has had 4 different stays with the Dodgers this year.
A lot bigger than his dad, Andy, who of course was a center fielder. This guy's a corner outfielder, more a left fielder. And a right-handed hitter as opposed to a left-handed hitter, the way Andy was.
No balls, 1 strike to Van Slyke. Inside and low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Van Slyke down at AAA was hitting .350 with 12 homers and 41 runs batted in. Off the end of the bat.
He's really using his changeup a lot today. Just 2 backed up changeups there to Van Slyke, throwing it behind in the count. That's a good sign with Hamels that he likes his changeup, and that young man likes that baseball. We'll go fastball in.
A slice out of play down the right field line.
Hamels, a veteran pitcher that he is, there's no problem throwing an off-speed pitch 2-2. With younger pitchers, you take them into a trap, into a fastball count. Then if they miss, with Hamels, throws a 2-2 changeup, no big deal. If he misses, he may throw a 3-2.
Line drive, base hit it to left field. Well, he went back with the cutter again. So back-to-back hits for the Dodgers, and that'll bring Jerry Harrison to the plate. This is a historical run for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Murph, one that we probably won't see in the very near future.
No, I wouldn't think so. It really is historical when you look at it. The Cold Hard Fact today brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. The Dodgers have gone 25-3 since the All-Star break. They are 22 games above 500. That's their best mark since the end of the 09 season. And, you know, guys, you don't see this kind of thing unless all facets of the game are working. But their starting pitching over this streak has been absolutely remarkable. Their starters over the last 21 games, 15-1, and they have the best ERA in the majors now as a starting group. So the Dodgers, they're also getting timely hitting and good defense as well, but their starting pitching has really been a story, and that's really what's turned it around for these guys. They got that spark right before the All-Star break, and they have not let up. They've also won 19 of their last 20 games, guys, on the road.
Yeah, it's been a remarkable run for them all the way around. You think about the number of starters they've had, too, this year. You know, they designated Ted Lilly for assignment. They've had to use it hasn't been the same 5 guys that they've used on an every 5th day basis. There's Chris Capuano, who has the stopwatch. Capuano has been in and out of the rotation. Greinke's been on the disabled list with that bad shoulder. 1 ball, 1 strike to Hairston. And he takes low, 2-1. Well, over the last 50 games, the Dodgers have the best record in the last 100 years in baseball. 100 years. And it's partly because of the starting pitchers. And you can see a 3.16 ERA.
They have done everything above average when you talk to people that are watching them play. There you can shake their heads.
To center field, Casper Wells waits for it. First out of the inning.
Outfielders can already see that the ball's going to get knocked down a little bit as it goes out there towards them. And it's something they can think about. The infielders have to be aware of that on fly balls and pop-ups, that they have to get out there today. A little bit like a spring training game, not to that extent, but the infielders come into play because the ball will come back towards the infield a little bit. You're not used to that here.
Here's Fedorovich, the backup catcher, 226 with 3 home runs this year. Takes outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Just off the inside corner. Not a bad spot. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Hamels for his career, 96 wins, 73 losses. Even with the success he's had in August and since the All-Star break, he's only picked up 1 win during that time. Phillies have won games, but unfortunately the offense hasn't scored a whole lot of runs for him.
That's the 3rd or 4th time today he's thrown a changeup behind in the count. And that always is a good sign with Hamels, that he feels good enough that he can pitch backwards to hitters. His cutter is not real sharp today. His fastball location's okay. His changeup is really good.
Two balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Fedorovich is done on strikes. First strikeout for Hamels.
And back-to-back changeups several times early in this game. This is as much as we've seen him use his changeup early in a game in a long time. He really is comfortable with this, or against this lineup, or he doesn't like some of his other stuff, but he's throwing it a lot.
Well, he has 2 outs, and now Ricky Nolasco, the batter. Nolasco hitting 158 on the year. 6 hits and 38 at bats. Going inside, 1 ball and no strikes. He wasn't happy with where that pitch was. Play, and it's 1-2. As far as the run support goes that we were talking about, Hamels has this entire year pitched to some of the lowest run support in baseball, but he's had 12 games where the Phillies have scored 2 runs or less while he's been out on the mound. 12.
Well, there's 7 and 18 in his starts. Oh. Well, close.
Sam Holbrook is the crew chief with Joe West on vacation for the weekend.
Saw a Cowboy doing a series in St. Louis.
2-2 pitch to Nolasco, up high, 3-2. So that means Van Slank will be off and running on this pitch.
Just doesn't have that real good fastball command this afternoon that he's had in some other games. Doesn't mean he can't get it, but that's really been something that's been very good for him lately.
Out towards center field. Wells, about 7 or 8 steps from the track, makes the catch, and the side is retired. 1 run on the home run by Andre Ethier. Just his second home run in the last 22 ball games. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Dodgers up 1. On PHL 17, Arsenio Hall is bringing the party back to late night TV. The Arsenio Hall show premieres September 9th at 11 p.m. right here on PHL 17. Bottom of the second, Phillies down 1-0, and Dominic Brown will lead it off. He's had good numbers against Nolasco in a very short period of time. 6 for 15 against him. So far in the first 2 games, Dominic 1 hit in 6 at-bats. First pitch a little low, 1 ball and no strikes. All the issues that the Miami Marlins had, although it didn't seem this way at the beginning of the year, have really helped out Ricky Nolasco. He was one of the only veterans who wasn't traded during the offseason. He was disappointed by that. That ball is lined back through the middle, a base hit for Brown. First hit of the day for the Phillies. That'll bring Darren Ruff to the plate. Nolasco was 5-8 this year with the Marlins with an ERA under 4. During the offseason, he voiced his displeasure about not being dealt because everybody else had been. Jose Reyes, Emilio Bonifacio, Josh Johnson, Mark Burley. And they figured they'd hang on to him, let him anchor a young staff. But in retrospect, it's probably worked out to his benefit because he's gone to a place that's close to his home. And he's also gone to a place where At the time, they weren't the best team in the National League, but they were ascending at that point.
It sure has worked out for both sides, say the least, for him to come over here and do the things that he's done. And the Marlins are always looking to try and add younger players and dump salary.
Darren Ruff 1 for 6 in the series. Brown goes, check swing, foul ball. But it's 0-1.
It looked like they were playing hit and run on the first pitch there, because that's the batter's supposed to protect, and that was a tough pitch to put in play. And Wally Joyner's a new first base coach, wants him well down at third base. He goes through the signs again, but that's a count that you'll play it on normally. First pitch 1-0, 2-1. Those are what are deemed hit and run type counts.
Throw over to first, Dominic Brown, who was picked off last night, back easily. Well, Ryan Sandberg did say the other day that he does like action during the course of a game, that he would put the runners in motion.
Yeah, well, and managers love to do that if they have the personnel for it. Sometimes, you know, his thought process, of course, is really good in wanting to do that. But then they watch guys swing and miss, and guys get thrown out at second all the time, and all of a sudden, that's such a great idea. So if it'll work out a little bit, going to try it. And that's what that was on the first pitch.
Brown does not go, and the pitch is swung out and missed. It's 0-2.
And everybody knows the Phillies have a lineup that swings and misses a lot.
Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Karen Carboni of Egg Harbor Township. Phillies hit a home run in tonight's ball game. The Karen's going to win $300. Today's ball. Outside, swung out and missed. He went after a breaking pitch that just kept on going. Second strikeout for Nolasco. And the first out here in the inning.
Well, he just doesn't see this out of his hand, because that was never a strike. I'm not even rather guessing. He just didn't see it right, and swings, and it was almost like he was in swing mode there, and he certainly couldn't stop.
Well, now Cody Ashe hitting 200 in the big leagues. He has 7 hits and 30 at bats so far here at Citizens Bank Park. And a fly ball out to left, not deep. Playable for Van Slyke. So Brown goes back to first. Casper Wells is coming up. See Hairston look up at the sky. Van Slyke came in with his arms out as if he was telling his teammates, I don't know where it is.
Yeah, it's gotten there's a little bit. It's a little bit brighter right now, but it's certainly not a sky you would lose a baseball in because of the sun. So there's something about the contrast that bothered him.
Wells doubled in last night's ball game. He's 1 for 9 since the Phillies picked him up.
That's why guys in day games will take sunglasses out there with them no matter what, just in case, or they'll call time and come in and get them. They don't wear those baseball sunglasses anymore. The flipped kind.
Kershaw's wearing it in the
yeah,
dugout.
he had those kind.
Casper Wells does not have a career at bat against Ricky Nolasco. Curveball. And outside, according to Adam Hamari, the home plate umpire. 2 balls and 1 strike to Wells. Don Mattingly giving Federovich the signs, the running game signs. Top of the 4th inning on the Toyota Major League scoreboard. Giants lead the Marlins 2-1. Hunter Pence hit a 2-run home run. When an estimated Pence's home run, when an estimated 459 feet. It's the second longest home run.
Stanton had the other one.
Yeah, 462. Stanton hit a long one last night that I thought moved into second place all time. So Hunter Pence knocked him out of that spot with a 459-foot home. I wonder where it went.
We used to see him hit a lot of those in batting practice.
Brown will be off on this pitch. And the 3-2. And a liner down the left field line. It is foul. That ball was scorched.
He's been throwing him away a lot in this count. This time he tries to run something in on him, and he ran it right in the middle of the zone, but he couldn't keep it fair.
Goes again. The pitch is swung on and missed, and the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit. The first hit of the day for the Phils. We've completed 2. We go to the 3rd. The Dodgers up 1-0. The Fans trivia question. Log on to Phillies.com. Go to the Fans section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. Who is the only Phillies pitcher, Wheels, to record a win in the 77 National League Championship Series against the Dodgers? You know that one?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
We go to the 3rd. Mark Ellis leads it off against Hamels.
I think he had a home run in the game, too. I don't know. We'll see. It's for the fans. Just try and give a hint. Maybe led him in the wrong direction, too.
Ellis lined out to first his first time up.
No, that was 78. That's wrong. Scratch that one.
You did lead them astray.
Yeah, but I brought him back.
Ground ball toward the left side, dug out by Ashe. And there's one away. Next Sunday, the Phillies will wrap up this homestand against the Arizona Diamondbacks, and all fans 14 and under will receive the Phillies backpack. Compliments of ShopRite. Order your tickets by going to Phillies.com. I don't want to say anything, but that backpack may come in handy in the next week or two, next several weeks, as Nick Punto leads it off.
That's that taboo of a subject at home, huh? This time of the year.
Well, I've got one it's not taboo for because he's anxious to go. And the other three, yeah, it is taboo for.
Yeah. Well, the older you get, the more you want to go, right? That's why I ask questions. I mean, these are my children questions, and I pose them to you, obviously.
I got one going to college on Tuesday. Now he's excited. I've got three that are still in high school or younger. They're not as excited.
Right. Well, that sounds normal.
No balls at 2 strikes. Punto singled up the middle his first time up, and a swing and a miss. Nicky spun himself right into the ground.
He hurt his ankle, it looked like.
Remarkable, all the players back in that year when he played for the Phillies, that he is still around. And yeah, he fell right on top of that ankle.
He rolled it a little bit. Well, here's another look at it. He rolls it. Right ankle, it looked like.
Yasiel Puig grounded out, excuse me, Hanley Ramirez grounded out his first time up. Puig is on deck. Fastball outside, 1-0.
Punto's out there today giving Uribe a day off, at least at the start. And, you know, that's one of those things that, you know, certainly hope Nick's okay. But Don Mattingly wants to give some of his guys a day off every once in a while, especially with the way they're running away with things, and give Punto a chance to play to give Nick some at-bats.
You know, the battle that's going to be interesting, I think, is going to be the battle for home field advantage in the National League. Because you have 3 teams that are going to be in the hunt for that spot. And I think the Braves need home field advantage. Maybe they don't, but Ramirez loses the bat. It goes into his own dugout. I think it hit Matt Kemp in the head.
He's having a tough year.
I think it hit Matt Kemp right in the head. Oh boy, it's split in half. Well, if it hit Matt Kemp in the head, I don't know if he'd be dancing around like that.
No. Oh, the barrel goes right in there. Look. Oh man, there's a helicopter. Ooh, that is scary. Then it started to bounce around.
Yeah, it went over his head. I think it was whoever it was behind him. Maybe it was Uribe. They snapped it. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ramirez. Anyway, the Dodgers right now with 72 wins, the Pirates with 72 wins, and the Braves with 75 wins. Those are the 3 top teams in the National League, record-wise.
Yeah, there are 3 very good teams there. All 3 of them. Everybody has holes. You can't help but have holes on the team. But when you look at those 3 teams, you know, all 3 of them have a chance to go to the World Series.
Well, I think the Braves need it more than all, just because they've been so good at home. Now, so have the Pirates. They're 42-21, but the Braves have been nearly unbeatable at home, particularly over the last couple months. The change up, and the side is retired in order. Here in the top of the 3rd. I think order's restored to the Dodger dugout as well. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. Los Angeles on top, 1-0. stores. Go further. By the Pennsylvania Lottery benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. And by Mazda, we believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. Carlos Ruiz will lead it off. It'll be Ruiz, Hamels, and Martinez. First pitch over for a strike. It's 0-1. Carlos 0 for 5 in the series so far. 5 for 26 against Nolasco for his career. Curveball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Good story we learned about Ricky Nolasco. As you said, his name is Carlos Enrique Nolasco. Why they call him Ricky? Well, his dad's a huge Dodgers fan, growing up in the Los Angeles area, and his favorite player is Rick Monday, who's here. He's a broadcaster with the Dodgers. So he named his son, or nicknamed his son, Ricky. And Nolasco told Rick Monday that the other day when he was interviewing him, and now they're going to look forward to meeting Ricky's dad.
Yeah, that meet and greet has not happened yet.
Well, it's kind of a cool story, really. Think about that was his favorite player, and that's not his name, but they call him Ricky his whole life.
2-2 to Carlos Ruiz. Carlos hits it slowly foul. Rick Monday, I asked him, I said, anybody else ever admit to being named after you? He said, nope, nobody's ever admitted being named after me.
He's one great guy right there, and he's you see what a tremendous player he was. He has his own bobblehead coming up in a couple weeks at Dodger Stadium.
Ruiz lines one to right center field. That's going to be in for a hit. Puig cuts it off.
He baits you, doesn't he? That's funny to watch right there. Now, Carlos Ruiz is not going to go to second, but Puig was just baiting him there that he was just, that ball has a chance to be a gapper. Never had a chance. And the way he went after that is like, go ahead and run. Just try and stretch it.
He already has 6 outfield assists.
Oh, that kid likes to play. And just watching him do that, he's got a playful nature to him.
Hamels squares and bunts over toward Punto, and Punto throws Hamels out. Sacrifice is successful. The Phillies have a runner in scoring position. 5-4 on the put out at first. Back to the top of the order. MLB.com At Bat is celebrating 5 years as your #1 mobile app for live baseball. Available for your iPhone, your iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At Bat delivers Phillies baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, highlights, and more. Text At Bat to 31826 or visit Phillies.com for details. Martinez hit a soft liner back to the mound his first time up that was knocked down by Nolasco. Then he threw him out. And he whacks the first pitch foul. It's 0-1.
Monson well back at third base has to get used to it again on how hard it is to score certain guys from second with less than 2 outs. Sometimes with 2 outs, but especially with less than 2 outs, Ruiz being one of them.
That one's off the foot of Martinez. 0-2.
Oh, he broke his foot one time. In a foul ball off his foot. Nolasco throws that down and in stuff to left-handed hitters, sliders, and curveballs, and he can do that pretty easily.
I think it hit his back foot or his back leg.
His knee. Bounced off the ground, hit his knee. Well, that's better than hitting him on the foot again, I guess. What did he do that in spring training one year, didn't he? Break his foot?
I think that's right. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Martinez is struck out. 4 strikeouts for Nolasco. And Kevin Franzen is stepping to the plate.
2012. Martinez really has trouble with off-speed stuff. He can hit some fastballs, but off-speed stuff really struggles. And throws a changeup up there and gets him to chase. That was last year. Began the season on the 15-day DL with a fractured right foot. Suffered in his spring training game.
Fanatic is still mesmerized by certain things.
You call somebody else a little goofy, huh? That's close.
Franzen fouls it off to the right.
Now you have 2 outs. You can go in the crack of the bat. It makes it a little bit easier for the third base coach, but not if Franzen hits it to that right fielder on 1 hop. Trying to get the crowd into it, maybe score a run here.
Curveball. Looked a little high. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Oh, they say you got a foul. Got a piece of it, so it's a foul ball. Not a foul tip because Fedorovich did not hang on.
Yeah, it sounds like it hits the ground. Fouls it, hits the ground, then hits the glove.
Ground ball left side. And the Ramirez charges and throws out Franzen, and the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left with completed 3. On to the 4th we go.
Will lead off for the Dodgers guys, and we talked a little bit about a spark. Well, this guy has been a spark for them, no doubt about it. 250 at-bats coming into today's game, and he has 91 hits. That is the best since Wade Boggs had 92 hits to start his career back in 1982. So many things going right for the Dodgers guys, but Yasiel Puig has certainly been a big part of their resurgence in the second part of the season.
It's remarkable, Murph, to think about where he was just a year ago. Signed by the Dodgers after he escaped from Cuba, went to Mexico, and the Cubs, the White Sox, and the Dodgers, those were the reported teams who were interested with him. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes you get an okay player. Well, the Dodgers, at least at this point, they've gotten a really good player. You think about the Reds, got Aroldis Chapman, he's very good. This is an everyday player.
Yeah, I don't think there's too many bad players there on that team, however. I mean, just to make that national team there in Cuba, you got to be one heck of a player. And then they play against a team, and sometimes that team beats them. I'd like to see some of those guys.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Puig. Now he asks for time. Well, there are a handful of Cuban players who have defected recently that are going to be free agents and signed by major league teams. You know, Dodgers saw him in a batting practice.
Yeah,
that's where they saw him, and they decided to sign him to the 7-year deal.
He's hitting balls out of the ballpark, straightaway center field, and really the telltale is for a right-handed batter, he starts hitting the ball out to right field, you know you have something. It's usually just about every player can pull the ball, but when you're hitting the ball to center field, right field, and hitting it out of the ballpark, you got quite a player.
Inside, 2-2.
You know what, guys? It's also remarkable to think about that had it not been for injury, the Dodgers may not have seen what this guy could do in the big leagues this year. Now, certainly, I guess down the road they would have, but he got his chance because so many other players early in the season were banged up, and talk about making the most of an opportunity.
Well, he goes after a changeup, but he's down on strikes. There are a lot of people that thought that he should have come north with the team from spring training because he hit over about 500. But they wanted him to be seasoned a little bit more and understand the American game a little bit more.
I think he's got it.
He does too. Well, Hamels got him on strikes. Here's Ethier, who has accounted for the only run of the day. Only his 22nd career home run against a left-hander in 622 games. And he takes low, 1 ball and no strikes.
Yeah, he usually doesn't even play against left-handers or haven't been, but this guy can hit. Before it's all said and done, he's going to be back in there every day.
The problem will be where are they going to put him when Kemp comes back. He's going to be in center field. Puig's going to be in right field, and you've got 2 lefties in Ethier and Carl Crawford.
Yeah, I mean that's the way I think that it would be. A lot of people think maybe Kemp might be in the lineup, but I think that's a kind of a far stretch from a guy that
Kemp wouldn't be in the lineup.
He would not be in the lineup, but I think almost he has to be in the lineup. He just brings too much from defense, and just need to. And all of those guys need to really hustle a little bit more. That's how Kemp actually got hurt coming around third base, just taking his time, and then all of a sudden he had to hit it. He went into slide and sprained that ankle.
Swing and a miss, 3-2 to Ethier. Yeah, to me, it's either Ethier or Crawford are the odd man out when Kemp comes back healthy. But we'll see when he does come back healthy. Down the left field line.
Ethier would bring more power, whereas Crawford would bring a little bit more speed. He's been hurt though the last 3 or 4 years, even with Boston, never really got going.
That ball's hit hard through the hole on the right side, so Ethier's 2 for 2. A reminder from Budweiser, great times are waiting. Designate a driver. And Scott Van Slyke is coming up. Van Slyke singled his first time up. Phillies will set up to try to turn 2 and get out of this 4th inning.
Cole seems to be much more in command of his pitches.
That ball gets away from Ruiz, and Ethier's going to go to second.
Even though I don't know if that's a wild pitch or not, but he's been able to come in and hit the outside part of the plate there. I don't know. That, to me, he tried to catch it. End up giving him a wild pitch. Usually, though, when that pitcher throws the ball in the dirt, they'll give him the wild pitch. Thought if Carlos had turned the glove maybe the other way, he would have kept it in front. Don't necessarily have to worry about Ethier running, however, because he's a slow runner.
Outside, it's 2-0. That is the 14th wild pitch that's been thrown with Carlos behind the plate.
Got that movement there on that fastball or the cutter that he's actually throwing. Keeping it down always helps.
That ball is rocketed foul.
Well, one thing we've seen in the series so far, that the Dodger hitters, when they square the ball up, whether or not it's a line drive or a ground ball, they really connect with the ball.
Toyota Major League Scoreboard. The Braves have taken a 2-0 lead over the Nationals. That game's at the top of the second. Nationals won last night in 15 innings on an Adam LaRoche home run. They had a 39-minute rain delay down in Atlanta today. Braves had to jumble their pitching rotation as Van Slyke is out front of a changeup and down on strikes. 3 strikeouts for Hamels. Braves had to jumble their pitching rotation because they used Medlin last night in that ball game. He got the loss. And the Nationals used Dan Herron, and he got the save.
Yeah, that's become quite the rivalry for sure. Throwing at each other. Guys, Strasburg throwing actually behind the batter. I don't know if that, however, was on purpose, because there were 2 wild pitches before. He was on first base, wild pitch, another wild pitch, and then he threw behind them.
Well, he said after the game that he was just out of sorts. But, well, he was out of sorts. But, man, I don't think there's any question. Well, who knows? That ball's lined towards short, over the glove of Martinez into left center field. Ethier's going to score, and it's 2-0 Dodgers on top. Little floater off the bat of Jerry Hairston, his 21st RBI of the year. And that wild pitch, huge in this ball game.
Yes, it is.
In this inning.
Harrison just about hitting that off the end of the bat there. Martinez trying to get up there and just missing it. Take a look at it again as he gets up there. Almost nicked the ball. Not quite, however.
Fedorowicz struck out his first time up. Lines that one back through the middle, a base hit. Hairston goes to second. And it gives Nolasco a chance to bat with 2 on and 2 outs. Stealing a base is all about speed and timing. When it comes to office supply delivery, WB Mason's same-day service can't be thrown out. Call by 11:30 and your order is delivered that same afternoon. Who but WB Mason? Well, Hamels can see himself through this by getting Nolasco and keeping it at a 2-run deficit.
Well, this is the time he needs to really concentrate and make sure that he makes a good pitch and be able to get the pitcher out.
Ground ball back toward the middle. Utley gets there, throws off balance, side is retired. A run does score and an RBI single by Jerry Hairston here in the 4th. Dodgers lead 2. Chase Utley will lead it off in the bottom of the 4th when we return. HD triple play provider of your Phillies. By Citizens Bank, where good banking is good citizenship. Is it a time you experience good banking? And by Nissan. At Nissan's Bottom Line Sales event, choose a better way to drive and save. Choose Nissan.com today. Bottom of the fourth, Dodgers up 2-0. It'll be Chase Utley, Dominic Brown, and Darren Ruff due up against Ricky Nolasco. Well, some trends going on. Dodgers have not allowed a run in 30 innings. The Phillies have not scored a run in 21 innings.
It's unbelievable, Philly.
Phillies have not scored since that last inning against the Braves. Dodgers starters have just been really good.
Oh, and the bullpen. But still, this offense, they shouldn't be able to be shut down for 21 innings.
Change up outside. It's 1-0 to Utley. Utley struck out his first time up.
You would think in that time somebody would be able to hit one out. You know, with the Cubs, never was able to see how good Ricky Nolasco was going to be. He was in that trade there with Juan Pierre. However, he did say it was like night and day being traded over to the Dodgers. And you look for his career to even get better. This guy's a good pitcher. You with a good team like this, it just makes you even that much better of a pitcher. He was already a fine competitor. You put him with a group that plays some defense, more importantly, scores some runs. Makes your job a lot easier.
What did he feel was night and day, Sarge? Just the talent around him?
Atmosphere, you know, and the wanting to win. And he says once getting over there to the Dodgers, again, they like expect to win on a daily basis. This club is going through that, the fighting field. Early on there, especially in 2008, they felt they were going to be able to win, and thereafter.
All-time winningest pitcher in Marlins history. Utley hits one down the left field line. It is a foul ball. Dontrelle Willis is on that list. Josh Johnson, I think everybody thought would eventually supplant Ricky Nolasco, but he too was traded away to the Blue Jays. He's going to have that mark for a while, at least until Jose Fernandez gets a few more years under his belt.
He can really pitch. You'll hear from him for a long time coming.
Now the 2-2 pitch to Utley in the dirt, and it's 3-2.
Well, you never can tell, though. He might get to the point where he starts to make a little bit of money, and they end up trading him. They seem to do that quite a bit with the Florida Marlins and in that organization. Talked about going to the ballpark there, even though it's a great ballpark in Miami.
He talked about going to the ballpark at what, Sarge?
Going to that ballpark in Miami, you just had an atmosphere where you felt you were going to lose before you even went out, you know, on the field. That's a bad situation too.
Well, I think that's a bad feeling. I think it's easy to get into that kind of a rut. It's harder to get out of that kind of a rut.
No doubt.
Dominic Brown singled his first time up. He has one of the 2 hits for the Phils through the first 3 1/3. Inside, 1-0.
That's why it's so important to have 3 or 4 guys that are swinging the ball really well, swinging the bat really well. The pitcher, if you're the only one in the lineup, he's just going to work on you, and in most cases don't really give you a good pitch to hit, especially if that game is on the line.
A liner to right field. Pui got a late start, but he's there, and he makes the catch ever so casually. And there are 2 outs. Tomorrow, Dollar Dog Nights here at the ballpark. Phillies take on the Colorado Rockies. The first of 2 the next couple weeks. The next one will be Monday, September 2nd at 7:05 when the Nationals are here. You can order your tickets. Come get your dogs by going to Phillies.com. Darren Ruff struck out his first time up. Well, his pitch total is at a pretty good spot right now with 2 outs in the 4th inning. He got Ruff to swing at that very similar pitch to that to strike out his first at bat.
Well, the word is out. They get strikes, early strikes on him. They try and get the ball on the outside corner, usually with a slider or good cutter. Or whether or not you can spot it down and away as this ball comes in. See whether or not he wants to double up in there or go back outside. Last time he came in, he went away.
In the air to left field. Well, the scoreless stretch for both teams is over. A solo home run for Darren Ruff, his 8th of the year. It's the first run for Ryne Sandberg, and it's a 2-1 ball game. Well, there you go, Sarge. That's what you were talking about, that it's surprising that the Phillies haven't even hit a home run during this stretch.
Yeah, that ball there was a changeup. You got to give him credit, however. He stayed right on the ball like a good hitter should be. Take a look at it as that ball comes right back into the swing there. Good swing, good power as he drives it out of the ballpark. And
Karen Carboni of Egg Harbor, you've just won $300 thanks to Darren Ruff in the McDonald's home run jackpot. Cody Ashe ahead 1 ball, no strikes. Ashe takes high, 2-0.
Okay, Darren's proven though that ball that's middle in, he can handle that ball. That ball that's a little bit away, he's having problems. Once he figures that out, now you're talking about dictating and getting your pitches to hit out more out of the ballpark.
Back toward the middle, Hanley Ramirez in front of the bag. Side is retired. But the Phillies, thankfully, are on the board. They get their first run since Wednesday against the Atlanta Braves. It comes off the bat of Darren Ruff. It's a changeup that he golfs out of the yard. His 8th home run of the year, and it's a 2-1 ball game. PHL 17, starting September 23rd. Catch the #1 comedy in America twice a night, Sarge. All your favorite characters from Cam, all your favorite scenes, all your favorite episodes. Modern Family premieres September 23rd at 7:30 and 10:30 on PHL 17. Darren Ruff has put the Phils on the board. It's a 2-1 ball game. At the top of the order coming up for the Dodgers, Mark Ellis, Nick Punto, and Hanley Ramirez. Dodgers with 6 hits, Phillies with 3. And Hamels goes back to work, and it's low, ball 1. Ellis is lined out, and he's grounded out.
It's got to take a little pressure off the club there, scoring that run. And now what you concentrate on is trying to get that victory. You need to win a ball game. Get back to kind of feeling how that is.
Outside. Yeah, feeling what it's like to be winners, but doing it on a consistent basis. Not just one, but I know it starts with one, but 1 and 2 and 3 and getting something going here.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult, I would think, to start to win that 7 out of 8, 8 out of 9 right now. Sure, you want to. But you got to eliminate a lot of mistakes from defensively and base running.
3-2 pitch. A line drive down the left field line. Foul. And it remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Well, you're doing it today and in the series against the team that has the best 50-game record in the last 100 years. Tied with the Yankees of 41 and the Cardinals of 42. Both those teams won a World Series. Now the best record since 1900 during a 50-game span. As that ball is hit toward third. Backhanded dive by Ashe. Long throw on the money. 1 away here in the 5th inning. That was a nice play.
Yeah, he's showing a very good glove on at third base. Good quickness. You got to have quick feet if you're going to play third base. Up on his feet, and he throws the ball there right on the money. Take a look at it as he gets to that feet. Most important thing after you catch that ball, well, you got to make sure you get it in that right line with that runner running.
So 1 away, a strike to Punto.
There it is again. You know, a lot of times when you catch that ball, if you end up throwing near the inside of the line, you run into trouble. But good play, good hands, showing good hands at third.
Anyway, the Cubs in 1906, Sarge, have the best record since 1900 in a 50-game span. They were 45-5.
Ooh.
They went on to win 16 games that year, but they lost the World Series. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Punto. Just outside, 1-2.
Boy, nice job of framing the ball. Could have actually got that strike on the outside part of the plate.
Reminder that today's game is also available in Spanish. Just use the SAP button on your television or change the language through the menu on your cable box. A little bit of a mist falling in front of Ricky and an Angel over there. Swing and a miss. Punto is struck out. 4 strikeouts. Make that 5 strikeouts for Hamels. Yeah, there are 2 outs.
He's really doing a good job of keeping that ball down so far today. Hey, you get 2 strikes on him. Don't have to always throw a strike. You can trick a lot of hitters. They'll still get bad balls that'll be in the dirt.
Hanley is 0 for 2. Curveball.
Like that curveball there, more so breaking in so that if he hits it, it'll be foul as opposed to the one starts outside. Good pitch. and it settles down over the middle of the plate. That's not the one you want to throw to Hanley Ramirez.
Curveball hit in the air deep, but foul down the left field line. And out of play, 0-2 is where the count remains.
I don't think you want to keep throwing it up high, out over the zone.
You don't think so?
No. He just missed from really hitting that ball a long way. Well, again, get that ball on the outside part of the plate. Wants a changeup, and then he says, hey, I want it again. Carlos ended up winning out on that one.
85 pitches for Hamels. And the 1-2 pitch. Golfs it deep down the left field line. It is foul, but man, was that far.
Tell you what, boy, you keep messing around in there. Good thing that ball again was cutting in there. I mean, he hit this ball. He hit the ball a ton.
The ball went out past HK's statue.
Oh,
went out toward the Schmitters.
Oh, boy. This ought to be a changeup.
That was a fastball upstairs. This is from our left field camera. See if you can find that ball. Look where it goes. Ready? Right over the hands there.
Oh, boy.
That's far. That's far.
Oh, he's coming right at him. Back-to-back fastball. Might want to try something else now. Well, you can see again on those fastballs when you connect, they go a long way.
Watch it go past the pole. And
wow.
People just aren't even looking at her out there. That the ball comes bouncing their way.
Couldn't imagine just walking and all of a sudden getting popped with the ball there.
Swing and a miss. He won the battle. He got him with a fastball. He challenged him on the inner half. And the side is retired. 1, 2, 3 go the Dodgers. 6 strikeouts for Hamels. We go to the bottom of the 5th. The Phillies down by 1. Sarge, for years, StubHub has been the place to find great Phillies tickets. And if you came to the game today, as we go to the bottom of the 5th, you see the Dodgers up 2-1 But this season, you can get more with your tickets thanks to StubHub Fan Rewards. So get to StubHub and grab your seats today. Ricky Velasco's allowed a run on the home run by Darren Ruff. He'll face Casper Wells, Carlos Ruiz, and Cole Hamels as we begin the 5th inning. You know, we've said a lot this year on our telecast that the Phillies have wasted a lot of really good starting pitching.
Yeah.
The last 3 nights, the way Lee pitched, even the way Kendrick pitched last night. Kyle went 6 innings. He allowed just 2 runs.
Yeah.
And of course today, the way Hamels is pitching, the Phillies are wasting some pretty good starting pitching.
Yeah. I like, though, the way Cole's throwing today. That's more like the way Cole Hamels throws the ball. Being able to get that cutter in a position where you're not able to get the big barrel of the bat on the ball. But in that sequence, obviously pitching with no fear at all, even though Hanley Ramirez hit a long foul ball, like Greg Maddux would say, just a strike.
Casper Wells has struck out for the 2nd time. 5 strikeouts overall for Nolasco. Well, he does have a pretty good breaking pitch.
Oh, yeah. He's got good off-speed pitches. Always has. And again, he can throw it any time. He got that changeup up a little bit to Ruff. Take a look at this one, and that's the action that he wants on that. That looks like a breaking ball to me. Some spin on it.
Carlos singled his first time up, and he takes inside. Curveball pulled toward the hole, base hit into left field. And Carlos is 2 for 2.
Stayed right on the breaking ball there. Again, that's what Sandberg said that he's looking at. Quality at bats from the guys. Talked about that last night with Dominic having 2 quality at bats. And the fact of the matter is, the guys need to have at least 3 or 4 quality at bats, whether or not you get hits or not. Meaning that you're swinging at strikes, concentrating, not swinging at off-speed pitches there early in the count. Especially the ones that aren't strikes.
Cole did not show whether he was going to bunt or not on that particular offering, as he kept the bat in a hitter's spot as they throw it over to first. 1 ball, no strikes. And he bunts it toward third. That'll get Ruiz up to second again. And now with 2 outs, the Phillies have a runner in scoring position. 5-4 again on the putout. Friday, August 23rd, Philadelphia Phillies will take on the Arizona Diamondbacks in the start of a 3-game series. Sarge, it's Total 1990s Retro Night. All fans coming to the ballpark who are 14 and under will receive the John Kruk action figurine. Sunday the 25th, it's ShopRite Back to School backpack free to fans 14 and under. To get tickets, you can go to Phillies.com. Here's Michael Martinez. He's grounded out. He's also struck out. Swing and a miss and an off-speed pitch.
Got to shorten up that swing a little bit. Doesn't have to just swing that hard, that wild. No, this is a situation where you're really just trying to go for a base hit. Shorten your swing up, look up the middle, and stay on the ball.
Pickoff play on. Ramirez sneaks in, and Ruiz gets back. Phillies have been picked off 5 times at second base.
That's hard to do. Usually, too, though, when that coach says back, it's usually too late. Still think even Carlos should be able to score from second base with the 2 outs. He can take as much as the shortstop. The secondary lead off and running should be able to have no problem.
Ground ball back toward the middle. Ellis to his right. And the Phils leave one in scoring position here in the 5th inning. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. We've played 5. We go to the 6th inning. Still a 2-1 game as Puig will lead it off for the Dodgers. Days. Cole Hamels, who has battled all season to find his groove, has found it since the All-Star break. With an ERA just over 2 in the second half, the Phillies left-hander has reached the level anticipated heading into 2013. Monday in Atlanta, Cole limited the Braves lineup to 6 hits, 1 run, and struck out 9 for his 13th career complete game. And also delivered Charlie Manuel career win number 1,000. Hamels has turned it up several notches, and it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Well, Cole Hamels continues to carry what he earned last week into this week. He's allowed to just 2 runs on 6 hits. He has struck out 6 so far. As we go to the top of the 6th, Yasiel Puig leads it off for the Dodgers. Let's check in with Murph. Murph?
Well, Tom will give you an update on Michael Young's status. We know he left yesterday's game with what we were told was an ankle injury. Well, he has told Todd Zielecki of MLB.com that he's actually dealing with a little bit of an Achilles problem, just a little soreness. He says it's something he's been dealing with over the last couple of seasons, and it's not serious at all. He said sometimes when he feels the way it does, he just has to get off it for a day or 2, and then he's back to normal. So that's where Michael Young is today, not in the lineup, but I wouldn't expect him to miss too many games this week, guys.
All right, Murph, we appreciate that. Yeah, Ryan Sandberg even said after last night's ball game that that he's been dealing with that. Cody Ashley didn't play last night with the lefty on the mound, but Ashley's out there again today, and they've got Franzen at first base. No balls and 1 strike to Puig. Ground ball back toward the middle. Utley has it go off his glove, and that'll be E4. That'll be the 15th error of the year for Chase.
Just rushed it a little bit. Kind of knew that. Again, that's what players will do when to the defense. Check it out here as he comes in there. He knows he has to get rid of that ball quickly. That's what those guys will do. Offensive players will make you rush because you know that they're hustling there all the time. Got to come up with a clean play to be able to get them.
The leadoff base runner, Andre Ethier, is now the hitter. He's 2 for 2, and he has scored the 2 runs. For the Dodgers today. Puig is certainly a threat to run. He's stolen 7 bases. He looks like he's hampered by something, though, these last couple of days, even the way he was running up the line there.
Yeah. This in the second inning there. Fastball to his liking. If you're hitting the ball out of the ballpark. A little bit more competition in that outfield now. Guys aren't going to just, well, some of them will be in that lineup every day, but they're going to have to make a decision on who's going to play sooner or later. See whether or not that causes any dissension, but I'm sure Manley will have the best guys playing when it's all said and done. Maybe the guy that's swinging the bat the best. But you know, Puig in right field, he's there. He's there to stay.
Another toss over, and he's back. Change up, and it's waved at. It's 0-1. Todd Mattingly, who took over the Dodgers from Joe Torre after he was the bench coach for Torre in Los Angeles. There was a point where he thought he would be the next manager of the New York Yankees when Torre left the Yankees. But Joe Girardi was given that opportunity. So Mattingly followed Torre out to Los Angeles with the same understanding, but I think they had a little different understanding.
Yeah.
This, when he went out to Los Angeles, it wasn't, hey, listen, we think you're going to be the next manager. There was something a little bit more to it. And that's what happened. Outside, 2-1.
And Ned Colletti, that's the general manager that is here on this particular trip, obviously said early on there might have been some changes that were going to be made. And the way the team has played has virtually saved his job so far this year.
Runner goes. Franzen has Puig caught. And Puig is tagged out. 1-3-6 on the caught stealing.
Well, one of the things too that's going to hurt this club if they don't get some of these type of mistakes out of there, and I mean getting picked off, bad base running, throwing the wrong bases, it'll be difficult for them to continue to win there if they're in the playoffs. A lot of mistakes, and that's what happens with younger players. You go through the growing pains of things just like that.
2-1 to Ethier. And now Hamels works from the windup. Outside, 3-1. Oh no. The ball's hit well. Ruff, though, looks like he has room, and he makes the catch. Boy, Hamels thought it was gone, too. He was frustrated with himself.
Yeah.
And there are 2 outs. It didn't sound like the first one did, but I thought it still had enough to get out of the ballpark.
Yeah, well, in the ballpark, let's face it, the way it is today, you got that wind blowing in, and he got it right down the middle. Hamels didn't even look at in the beginning and said, well, maybe it isn't. The reason Tom thought it was going out too, it's right down the middle. Ethier thinking it has to have a chance, and that wind not blowing in, guess what? It's out of here.
Well, here's Van Slyke, and he takes a curveball. It's 1-0.
I mean, right on the sweet part of the bat, and went up and went down. You saw a lot of that candlestick balls that would be hit hard.
There's a base hit for Van Slyke. It's his second hit of the day. Speaking of candlestick, although he didn't hit his 660th in candlestick, you know, yesterday was the anniversary, the 40-year anniversary of Willie Mays hitting his final home run, and he did it in a Mets uniform.
What a player! Really, what a player! Just all facets of the game. I know that Tim McCarver had talked about Pete Rose being the best base runner, but there's no question Willie Mays was just off the charts in terms of first to third, stealing the base, having the ball hit him in the back.
Hamels' pitch count, he's at 100 pitches. Now towards second on one hop. Side is retired. No runs, one hit, and one man left. 5.5 in the books. We go to the bottom of the sixth. The Phil's looking for some offense from the top of the order. Well, Sarge, it's time now for our Coors Light Freeze Cam. We take you back to Friday night where Andy Rabel made a heck of a catch on that pop-up over to third. Oh, Andy is manning that same camera today. Charlie is next to him. And he celebrated, of course. Bill Laporte from the Fanavision crew is next to Andy. Look at Andy's reaction when Bill missed that ground ball.
I think Bill was a little angry at that, too.
Well, they go back and forth a little bit about some of the fielding miscues that they have. Coors Light Freeze Cam brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
Oh,
that is tremendous. Look at Bill. Bill doesn't know he's on television.
What happened, he says. He's looking at it, he can't figure it out.
It's tremendous. Kevin Franzen leads it off here at the bottom of the sixth, and he takes a strike. It's 0-1.
That's a bad feeling, too, when you know something's going on, don't know quite what it is, and you know it's you. That's right, Bill. Oh, boy.
About 2 weeks ago, Andy and I were talking in the lunchroom, and Bill was in there, too. And I said, Andy, let's go over to Bill, and we'll explain to him the proper way of catching the ground ball.
Oh, man.
1 ball and 1 strike to Franzen. Franzen fouls it at the plate, and it's 1-2. Ground ball to third. Pluto charges. And one away here in the 6th. Chase Utley's coming up. Time to check in with Murph. Murph, take it away.
Well, Tom, unfortunately, I have to report some bad news here.
no.
Sarge, I gave you a hard time before the show because you went on the Behind the Pinstripes program without your correct shirt on, which was just a technicality, but I understand now that you were still wearing the incorrect shirt, so we have to update our shirt scoreboard, guys. And Sarge, another notch. 1.5 now, plus the $sign for you, Sarge, for wearing an incorrect shirt. Now, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just pointing it out.
There's another great report. Murph, I understand that.
Utley's hit by a pitch.
Right on his foot. Look, I just want to throw this out there.
He's got a theory, Murph. He's got a theory.
That coming in today, that Wills' shirt was a little bit big, like he was swimming in it. As we know, Wills only has mediums, and I'm thinking that is my shirt, large shirt.
See, that's the story, folks. He doesn't know where the shirt is, the Tommy Bahama, the cream Tommy Bahama. Although I have to give you props. You came awfully close to wearing the mock one.
I was hoping that he didn't notice it, but he noticed it right away. And that was due to his son, Tommy, because I had on another shirt earlier.
You were trying to sneak it past us, Sarge.
Yeah, I was.
So Murph, Sarge's theory is that somehow Wheels has taken his shirt and he's wearing it today.
Yeah,
and that's why he can't find it.
Well, we'll have to look into that. I'll check on that, Sarge.
Okay.
Get back to you.
Thank you.
Oh boy. Dominic Brown takes outside. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Now the only thing I'll say about that, Sarge, is that Wheels has a tendency to put his name in his shirt.
Well, all his shirts are smaller, so we would know that right away. Okay.
Good theory, Sarge.
Well, the one good thing, though, I mean, let's just face it, all his shirts are mediums. Okay?
So if he is anything but a medium, then that means he has your shirt.
I'm throwing it out there, guys. Okay?
1 ball and no strikes to Brown.
I mean, if you go to his house, all his shirts are mediums. Everything. I just bought him a shirt for his birthday. Guess what? He asked for medium. Hard to work with these, boys. I'm telling you.
I'll roll with this with you if you want to.
No, I'm going to do what's fair.
Woo! Base hit into right field. Utley's going to go to third. I would think Puig is up with it. Utley on his way to third. Puig sails the throw. It is not in time. The throw to second, not in time. Some solid base running all the way around for the Phillies, and they've got 2 in scoring position with 1 man down.
Well, that's what he talks about, going first to third. And I'm telling you right now, you're talking about Utley just challenging a player, saying, hey, throw me out if you can. And that's another thing there. You can see Puig looking. He's looking right at him and take a look at him. He says, hey, get me if you can, as he gets down. High throw by Puig. Another high throw. And right now, Dominic's doing what he should. That's getting into second base on a slide right now. That's Utley coming in there at third base. Dominic at second base going in. That's a huge situation.
Well, now a base hit, the Phillies could take the lead here in the bottom of the 6th. They trail it by 1. Darren Ruff, the batter, he homered his last time up. Curveball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes.
Oh, boy.
Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. He threw him a curveball and then a slider.
Yeah, don't think he's going to be getting this changeup now. Velasco, after that home run he hit, you can bet he'll be getting that fastball either inside or he's going to get that same pitch there, slider away.
Try to get him to go after that pitch ever since he struck out his first time on that pitch.
And again, too, for that pitch there to be a strike, he's going to have to throw that strike almost right at him or over the middle of the plate.
Darren Ruff had been 0 for 4 against Alaska before that home run.
And all he wants to do is to get the ball up. This situation, yeah, you'd like to get greedy and to get 2. Most important thing is to make sure you get 1. Driver's seat. He can look at his pitch, get the one that he wants. See what Alaska wants to do. Wants to throw that breaking ball? You can take it, or you can take it the other way. Just make sure the ball is up in the zone.
Three balls, 1 strike to Darren Ruff, and the pitch coming from Nolasco. Curveball outside, bases are now loaded.
Good at bat, and that's what you would call to a quality at bat.
Well, now it leaves it to Cody Ashe, but it leaves it with the bases loaded. Now for the Dodgers, they're thinking, all right, we have the bases loaded. We can turn a double play. This is a force at any base. But for the Phillies, Ruff didn't get himself out. No. He just passed it on to the next guy.
What a good point, too, though. But after, again, that home run, you could see Nolasco not really feeling sure about himself and coming in there for a strike. Once he do, he stays away. But in order for that to work for Darren Ruff, you have to be disciplined, in which he was, and not being too anxious. Classic at bat. He needs a lot more of those.
Brandon League starts to warm up, and here comes Rick Honeycutt out to talk to Ricky Nolasco. Ashe is 0 for 2. He has flied to left, and he's grounded out to shortstop. Adam Hamari, the home plate umpire, went out to the mound pretty quickly to break up this conversation.
A little stall tactics anyway, of just letting their reliever kind of get ready. They never break it up until they get through saying what they want to say. Okay, situation here, very important too for base runners. Watch the line drives. And more importantly there too, the Darren Ruff at first base. You got to get down there and break that double play up. Make sure you end up getting this run.
The pitch to Ashe in the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes. Fedorovich has been busy these last couple of batters.
So another off-speed pitch. Ashe can look fastball all the way. Pressure on the pitcher in these situations. He's got to throw a strike, and quality strike.
Ground ball towards second. Ellis to second for 1. Ramirez's turn, not in time, and the Phillies tied the ball game up. Give it RBI to Cody Ashe. Fortunately, he runs well.
Yep. Yeah,
that's a 2-2 game.
Seriously, Tom, you're right. That's the speed of Ashe that end up making sure that run and starting from that left side actually helped. You can see too, though, Darren trying to get off and getting over there to him, but by then, though, Ramirez was already throwing. See it again as he's looking at it. He's got the speed. He knows he has it beat. Nice going. Utley there crossing home plate.
So I'll leave it at 2. Casper Wells 0 for 2. And he grounds it toward third. Nice hop for Nick Punta. And the side is retired. But the Phillies do draw even on the RBI and the ground out by Cody Ashe. A run on 1 hit. 2 men left. We go to the 7th, evened up at 2 apiece. baseball back here at Citizens Bank Park. Cole Hamels goes back to work in a 2-2 game. And Fedorovich will lead it off for the Dodgers. 8-9-1. Phillies tied it up on a ground out with the bases loaded.
And that was set up that great base running by Utley. Great job going first to third on. Puig, he can throw, but he's going to have to make a perfect throw, and then he wound up airmailing it, and they got a second and third out of it. And a real good at bat by Ruff also to walk to load the bases. So they did some good things in that inning. We haven't seen that for a while.
No balls and 2 strikes. Got a play, and it remains 0-2. Hamels getting a chance to pitch here in the 7th inning, Wheels. He's at 103 pitches. They figure they can get him through the 7th.
Yeah, they certainly want to do that as opposed to trying to get 9 outs from the bullpen.
Now the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and a strikeout for Cole, number 7 of the day.
Especially since they thought, well, maybe Nolasco's going to hit, but now he isn't. He's going back.
Well, the ground out, Wheels. Watch this. Henley Ramirez is talking to Rob Drake, the second base umpire, because he thinks that Darren Ruff came after him and wasn't close enough to the bag. Now, I don't know if that would have mattered at all as far as the double play goes, because Ashley was through the bag pretty easy.
Well, he was looking at it the whole time. The rule of thumb is you have to be able to reach the bag with your hand.
I don't know if Darren could have.
In that case, Hanley Ramirez has a point. Now, he really didn't disrupt the play at all. The ball wasn't hit that hard, and Ashley beat it out. But that doesn't matter. In the rule, it does not matter. The rule's a rule.
Well, here's Uribe who will pinch hit. He's 1 for 11 lifetime against Hamels. So Nolasco goes 6 innings, allows 2 runs on 5 hits. First pitch to Uribe is a strike. It's 0-1.
Now, in their case, they don't mind going for 9 outs out of the bullpen or even extra innings, because their bullpen's one of their strengths of their team. Obviously, is not for the Phillies.
Uribe gave the Dodgers some insurance last night with a 3-run home run. That was in the 9th inning. And 1 ball and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. He went after a high fastball. 8 strikeouts for Hamels. And he's finishing strong here in the 7th inning. And Mark Ellis is coming up.
Yeah, as Tom said, he gets Uribe chase a high fastball here. Set him up with other stuff, then he gets him to chase up there. That's what you want to do with Uribe, is keep the ball away from him if at all possible. Well, it's time now for your local Honda dealers game summary. Andre Ethier has a home run. He just missed another one. Looked like the wind knocked it down. The Nolasco gave a solid 6. Cole Hamels has been terrific today as we deal with another wardrobe malfunction afternoon. What happened?
Are you wearing a shirt?
I don't know. I brought it from home. I got it dry cleaned.
Well, it was nice of you to do it. What size is it, do you know?
Yeah, large.
See, he contends that everything you wear is immediate.
But how could I get his shirt and take it home?
He probably left it here, and you probably thought it was yours, and you took it home to get it cleaned. Now, here's the only thing.
Could be
that
his
ball is fouled
mistake anyway.
Back. It's 1-2. Yeah, because I don't know if he's a large or if he's an extra large. But he does contend that you're wearing.
How many of these do we have?
1. Remember you told me we had 2?
I got 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he had a black shirt on earlier today, and that's all that matters.
Well, now you know why he had a black shirt on.
Doesn't matter.
1-2 pitch. Fouled away. It remains 1-2.
It wasn't like I set him up.
That'd be so great if you. It'd be so great if you're actually wearing his shirt.
That's a nice one he has on.
I commended him for making it pretty close. Oh my goodness.
Oh, he's over there with Laurel and Hardy right now, too.
And he's talking to them, but he doesn't have headphones on.
Yeah.
He's trying to explain what happened over here.
Oh, man.
Well, what a sideshow this group is.
Oh, where was that?
Good pitch. Bring him up.
Boy, Hamels is really showing Amari up a little bit there too. But gosh, that looked like a strike. Ooh, where was it? Inside? I don't know.
3 balls and 2 strikes to Mark Ellis.
He's just struggling right now. Not struggling, but just trying to get through these 7 innings.
Ground ball foul past Tim Wallach.
Pitch count up to 115. No off days now for a while. 20 straight games the Phillies are involved, and this is the 3rd of the 20.
B.J. Rosenberg in the bullpen. Three-two pitch. Ground ball right side. Franzen has got it. Hamels is covering. Side is retired. 7 solid innings for Cole Hamels.
That's a great cover of first base he made there, too. Even though he has to get over there, he really thought that Utley was going to field that.
1, 2, 3 go the Dodgers. Time to stretch here in Philadelphia. Dealer at ChevyDealer.com. By Anheuser-Busch. A reminder from Budweiser, great times are waiting. Designated driver. And by Toyota. Toyota's nationwide clearance event is going on now. Toyota, let's go places. Two game, bottom of the 7th. Phillies get a run here. Maybe they can help get a win for Cole Hamels. Ronald Belisario will take over here in the 7th inning for the Dodgers. And he'll face Carlos Ruiz. And then the pitcher's spot for the Phils. Juan Uribe will stay in the game to play third base. Nick Punto goes from third base to second base. So Mark Ellis's day is done. Depending on how they match up this inning, they may want whoever finishes this inning to pitch the beginning of the 8th inning, the Dodgers, that is. So that's why they've made this sort of double switch. Time now for the Dodge Stump the Fans Trivia Quiz answer. All right, Wheels, here's the question one more time. The only Phillies pitcher to record a win in the 77 NLCS versus the Dodgers.
I'm going to have to go with some deduction stuff with you here. I remember Lefty started the game, but he didn't win it. So the bullpen won it. Somebody in the bullpen had to win it. It was on the road. Tug would have been the closer, so it has to be. All right, it has to be either Garber or Reed.
Okay, well, which one would it be? Which one would you prefer to have play basketball for you?
Basketball. Yeah. Ron Reed.
Is that your answer?
Well, that's not fair. You're leading me into something. I don't know who it is. I don't know. Gene Garber pitched the most late in games that year. In fact, he was 3 innings in the game, the Black Friday game. All right, let's go with Gino.
Gene Garber is correct.
All right, see, we had to work our way through that one. It's kind of like we're in the right shirt.
We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Ruiz will lead it off against Belisario. Ruiz is 2 for 2. Hamels is out of the on-deck circle for the Phils. Rollins is on the stairway. And the first pitch to Carlos shows bunt, takes a strike. It's 0-1. Phillies with 5 hits. Dodgers with 7. And a liner to right field. That'll drop for a base hit. Carlos Ruiz is 3 for 3.
Right, and they're going to let Cole Hamels back now because he's already put down 2 bunts today. So why waste a player here? We're in a bunt situation. Now, that's probably what they told Hamels. Hey, if Ruiz gets on, you're up. You're going to bunt. If he doesn't, then we're going to bat Jimmy Rollins in this spot.
Rollins will probably pinch hit for Martinez. Second 3-hit game of the season for Ruiz. How many of those do you think he had last year? I mean, to have only 2 this year. Symbolic of the struggles of the Phillies offense. Cole, 2 sacrifices, both 5-4 putouts. Uribe's charging hard from third. Cole bunts it in front of the plate. Fedorowicz is going to go to second, and he's out.
Well, that was a really good play by the catcher, but it was an obvious play by the catcher, too. And now they're going to have to get Hamels out of there for a runner, you would think. Or maybe not. I don't know.
2-6 on the putout.
That's a shame because he's put down perfect bunts here this afternoon, even though he's had the third baseman field them. Here he goes. He's trying it again, but this time right in front of the plate, right in front of Fedorowicz. He had no problem just throwing a second for that forced play on Ruiz. He does all he can, but he's not a quick runner.
Well, Martinez 0 for 3 today from the leadoff spot. Outside, off the glove of Fedorowicz, 1-0.
So they decide not to use another player, and for Hamels, he's a good base runner, and leave him out there. Good base runner for a pitcher.
Hamels has a short lead off first as Martinez takes a strike.
This is a better guy for Martinez to hit off. I don't know whether anything positive is going to happen, but in Alaska with all that slow stuff, this guy's going to throw hard sinkers almost every pitch. He'll throw fastballs at least.
Out of play, 1-2.
And he'll get better swings at him, and maybe he can shoot a ball through. What Belisario really specializes is his ground balls and double plays.
They also have Paco Rodriguez throwing in the pen. That's for Utley, you would think. Up after Franzen. Here's Rodriguez.
That delivery is amazing.
And a call, strike 3. A very delayed call. It did look like a strike.
It was a sinker, and it was a matter of did it sink enough.
Yeah. That's high.
It's high. It's high.
It was over the plate,
yeah,
but it's high.
He was right about that, Martinez was.
Well, the Mazda leaders, we talked about the starters for the Dodgers earlier, but their relief pitchers have been very good here in the month of August. They've only lost 1 game, the Dodgers, and it's partly because their bullpen has been able to close things out to the tune of a 1.73 earned run average.
And they win games in their bullpen too because they keep it close. They get in extra inning games, or they get a bunch of walk-off wins where a reliever will get a win.
Franzen is 0 for 3.
Franson was thinking about taking one for the club there. That baby was coming really hard because he will do that stuff. The fan just yelled, "Go ahead and lean into it." It's easy for you to say. That thing is really coming hard. Good observation down there, though.
Is floated out toward right center. Puig is there, and the side is retired. No runs, one hit, and one man left. We've played 7. We go to the 8th. Nick Punto will lead it off for the Dodgers when we return. Park. Phillies and the Dodgers final game of this 3-game series. Time now for a Hyundai defensive play of the game.
Cody Ashley makes a terrific play to his right. That's all reaction. It's all footwork for an infielder, especially a third baseman, first baseman, because it gets to you so fast. Not much time to really think. You just react. That's what he did. He reacted to his right. He gloved it clean. He popped up. Strong throw. Got him. And as a result, that is our Hyundai defensive play of the game.
Brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers. B.J. Rosenberg will take over for the Phils here in the top of the 8th inning. He'll face 2, 3, and 4. Nick Punto, Hanley Ramirez, and Yasiel Puig. I was talking to Cody about those barehanded plays that he's made. I think those have been some of his more impressive defensive plays in the early going. Every good third baseman needs to make those plays. They're not easy to make. He said that when he was at Nebraska, and I guess even before that, he would line up baseballs in front of him, and he would charge them and pick them up one at a time, all in one motion. Pick up the first one, take a few steps, pick up the second one, and throw as well. And he said that's what made him better at that particular play.
Right, I'm sure he'll tell you too. That play is all about getting on the right foot, the proper foot, as you pick the baseball up to throw it. And you watch good third basemen come in. Sometimes they're doing little stutter steps as they're coming in, and that's to make sure they get on the proper foot as they bend over to pick up the ball and throw. Because if you're on the wrong foot, you can't get anything on it.
Well, he's done a nice job with that particular play and with playing third so far. Rosenberg has thrown 3 straight balls out of the chute.
Yeah, this is the thing. Great job by Cole Hamels that he'll pitch to a no decision. This is the thing where the Phillies have just been really hurt all year. Is this part of a game, in a tight game, where they get into a team with better bullpens and they wind up having struggles here.
There's ball 4, so he walks him on 4 pitches.
They try somebody different right now. That's what you're down to. See, well, can Rosenberg handle the pressure of the 8th inning in a tie game against a team like the Dodgers? Just walks a guy on 4 pitches, so we'll see. And that's a very good at bat by Punto too. It looked like he was not going to swing till he got strike 1. Great approach, especially with these thumpers coming up.
Okay, he's got Ramirez. Ramirez is hitless in 3 at bats. Breaking ball, and that's 5 in a row out of the strike zone. Hamels, by the way, threw 118 pitches today. He closed strong. He allowed 1 hit over the last 3 innings. Wound up striking out 8. Did not walk 1 batter. Breaking ball, and he fouls it. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hanley for the year is hitting .357. Does not have enough at bats to qualify, and probably won't for the batting title. He has won one before. Check swing. Did he go? No.
He did look like he held up. I don't know how he did it. The biggest swing as he has. Let's see from this angle. That's not a swing. You swing as hard as he does and stop like that.
Strong hands?
I guess. You can tell their bench down there is just anticipating him doing something big here, because that's what he's been doing. Just big hits, one after another, and explosive. And look at them, all up. Even when he just swung at that, it was like they went, oh, he just missed it, even though he got jammed a little bit. And when you have a player like this, he can really excite the whole ball club.
Back to the mound. Rosenberg has a chance for 2. There's 1. There's 2.
Great job by the Phillies there to get him to hit that dribbler back. Good job by Rosenberg, and really a tremendous job by Michael Martinez to stay in there on a tough slide by Nick Punta. Here he goes, a dribbler back to him. Now watch Martinez hang in there. He got a lot on that throw as Punta was right after him. He tried to use the bag for protection, and then he gets flipped. But watch, the ball is gone right there, and now the contact occurs. And that's the key to an infielder, to have it gone before the guy gets on your legs.
Punta did the right thing, too, but he went to that bag pretty hard.
Yeah, and he went where he should go. Right, that's where the fielder was, so let's go. This is where the action is going to be. Might as well go after him. But it looked like Martinez didn't get led by Rosenberg, where he could fade away towards second base. That's what the infielder wants on that play. They want them to lead you away from the bag, and he led him right on the bag.
Now the 0-1 pitch coming to Puig. It's low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Good job by B.J. Rosenberg after throwing 5 straight balls and then a double play against. It's a little slower breaking ball than he normally does, wouldn't it? I don't know.
A pretty good tilt to it.
We haven't seen him much for a while.
One-two pitch. Another curveball. This one is down and away. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Diekman is up for Ethier.
That's what they look like. These curveballs, and he threw more of a harder breaking ball when he was up before. It's a good pitch to throw off a 90-some-mile-an-hour fastball. There's another one.
Fly ball, right center field. Playable. For Ruff or Wells, it's Ruff, and the side is retired. So good job by B.J. Rosenberg. He pitches a scoreless 8th inning. So now the Phils at the bottom of the 8th will try to get a run and take the lead. I'm loving it. Buy WB Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. And buy Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. The Phillies have gotten it to the bottom of the 8th inning, tied at 2. They'll have Utley, Brown, and Darren Ruff due up against left-hander Paco Rodriguez.
On Friday night, they brought Rodriguez into the middle of the 8th inning to face Utley. He struck him out, then he walked Brown, then they went to Belisario. Well, they've already used Belisario, but they're bringing Rodriguez in now to go after Utley and Brown and see if they, and now they are getting a right-hander up for Ruff.
Looks like it's Brandon League again who's starting to throw in the pen. There is League. So Utley has seen Paco Rodriguez in this series. This Wednesday when the Phillies take on the Colorado Rockies, a quick reminder that all fans coming to the ballpark, all fans, will receive the Cole Hamels Bobble figurine. It's compliments of Pico. Order your tickets by going to Phillies.com. Papelbon is warming in the bullpen for the Phillies. I would have to think no matter what happens here, well, he is going to come in tonight. I think it's a tie game.
Tie game at home, use a closer.
I still think that he would have pitched anyway. Even if if the Phillies were down 2-1 or whatever, I think he just needs work.
Well, you forget these situations too because you haven't had many of them.
Yeah.
Where you think about, well, yeah, you use your closer in a tie game at home in the 9th inning.
Utley is 0 for 2, hit by a pitch his last time up. Shows bunt, takes a strike.
This guy wore him out with sliders the other night.
Papelbon has not worked since last Sunday against the Washington Nationals.
Yeah, and that was in mop-up.
Nationals are losing again today to the Braves 2-0. They won last night. Braves won game 1 of that series. Popped him up. Jerry Hairston.
Threw him a couple fastballs and then threw him a breaking ball there and got him out front, popped him up.
Going to bring Dominic Brown to the plate. Brown has 2 hits today and 3 at-bats. But now up against a tough left-hander.
139 left-handed hitters hitting against him before that out. And 1 long ball so far in 80 at-bats.
Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Come in throwing more cutters today. That's his fastball, I guess, as opposed to throwing the sliders that he threw the other night. So he's varying the pattern on the same 2 hitters. Now he may throw a slider.
Well, he's ahead 0-2 to Dominic Brown. They set up outside for that slider, and it was the slider. 1-2. Tried to hold up, and he went around. And there are 2 outs here in the 8th. And with 2 away, Darren Ruff's coming up, and it's time for the Major League Notebook. Murph?
All right, thanks very much, Tom. Brought to you by Gwynedd Mercy College, of course. And guys, Miguel Cabrera is pretty good. He hit home run number 40 today for this season. That's exactly 1 month earlier than he hit his 40th home run a year ago, a year where he won the Triple Crown. And with today's home run, he is now tied for 71st all-time in Major League Baseball. It was his 361st home run. He is tied with Joe DiMaggio. We'll also give you an update on Dodgers closer, or Dodgers reliever, I should say, Brian Wilson, who rejoined the team this series. We're taking a look at him right now. Now, he has yet to be activated yet, but he did pitch a simulated game on Friday, and Ned Colletti said that he expects that he will be activated in, quote, the next couple of days. So they like what they've seen out of Brian Wilson, and he'll add some depth in that bullpen out there for the Los Angeles Dodgers, guys.
All right, Murph, we appreciate it. I don't know if you saw that shot, Murph, but it looked like he was slumbering out there in the bullpen.
Well, you know, he can't be a part of this one, apparently.
Surprised he's even allowed to sit in the bullpen. He was really good with the Giants. I mean, whew.
It's always interesting when a Giant becomes a Dodger or a Dodger becomes a Giant. The fans have a tough time accepting it right away because there is intense rivalry there that obviously goes back a long, long way.
It goes back to New York, where it was probably even more intense.
Coast to coast.
2 balls and 1 strike to Ruff.
Interesting that. Oh, wow, this guy's gotten a little erratic with his strike zone all of a sudden. Big difference with a left-handed pitcher out there to 2-2 or 3-1. But they decide to leave the left-hander in there. There's another left-handed hitter on deck, Ashe, and they're just hoping he doesn't throw a home run ball here.
Here comes the 2-2 pitch now to Darren Ruff. Swing and a miss. He gets the last 2 hitters on strikeouts. Phillies go down quietly in their half of the 8th inning. So we've completed our first 8 innings here this afternoon. Nothing solved. We'll go to the 9th, and Jonathan Papelbon is coming on for the Phils. This Friday night, the Phillies will take on the Arizona Diamondbacks here at Citizens Bank Park, and all fans 14 and under will receive the John Kruk action figurine. It's compliments of Total. In fact, they will sponsor the 1990s Retro Night. Get your tickets by going to Phillies.com. Pretty cool giveaways this next week here at the ballpark. Today, the Fanatic T-shirt and the Fanatic Fat Head, depending on your age. Down at the Papelbon to pitch the top of the 9th inning. Sarge is giving out shirts. Cole Hamels bobble figurine later on this week.
You get that shirt he was wearing today.
Well, by the looks of it, he got it from under his bed.
Yeah, it did look like he had spent the night in it. Yeah. Not like him either. He's usually immaculate.
That's what caught my eye, honestly, when I saw it, when he sat down.
And then the fact that it didn't have a P on it.
Well, that I would have noticed it eventually. I just wouldn't have noticed it right then. Only Sarge would have a shirt, the wrong shirt that matches the shirt we're wearing.
So when he didn't go try and find a P somewhere and get it sewn on there.
Like Laverne from Laverne and Shirley.
There you go.
Ethier swing and a miss at the first pitch from Papelbon. It's 0-1.
See Sarge in a poodle skirt. Some visual, isn't it?
Ethier is 2 for 3. He homered his first time up, single to the 4th. Fly to right his last time. And it's 0-2. Be out of play for the Phillies in their half of the 9th inning. It'll be Ashe, Casper Wells, and Carlos Ruiz. Trying to get there with the game tied at 2.
Yeah, that's Papelbon's job, and that's where you use your closer in this spot to get him out and come in, win the game in the bottom of the 9th inning, get a walk-off win.
Called strike 3 at the knees. Got a fastball by him. 1 away here in the 9th.
It's good location on that fastball. You wonder what he'd be like here today. As you said, Tom, he hasn't pitched for a week. You wonder what kind of command he'd have. Well, it's hard to throw a better pitch than that. That's perfect. It's just above the knees on the outside corner with 2 strikes. And all the hitter can do on that thing is throw an emergency swing on it and try and foul it off, and he didn't.
Here's Van Slyke. Van Slyke is 2 for 3 today. Cole Hamels went the first 7. Cole was outstanding today. 8 strikeouts. He allowed 2 runs. Then Rosenberg pitched a scoreless 8th.
Cole had great changeup early in the game. I don't know if he had his real good fastball command early. His changeup was really good. He was backing it up a few times. Guy's looking to hit the ball in the ballpark right now, and he's looking for something middle in. They're going to guard the line, play the outfielders way back in that don't hit it over your head. No doubles defense, as you see there. Papelbon, he doesn't mind pitching inside the hitters in these situations, and we'll see what happens.
2 balls, 1 strike to Van Slyke.
Now they're going away. There you go.
Foul tip, 2-2.
See him open up. Van Slyke is a big, strong right-handed hitter, and his first move is open up and try and pull and hit the ball in the ballpark, and you can understand why. So there's really no need to throw a pitch inside to him in these spots. Just stay away and hope he can't get to it.
Out toward right field, playable for Ruff.
Keep him in the park and the offside, and that's a good job.
And there are 2 outs here in the 9th. Every time the Phillies retired the opposition 1-2-3. Hamels did that his last inning of work today. Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports, giving you all your favorite sports all year long. Jerry Hairston, 1 for 3.
This guy, the same thing. What he wants to do.
Out toward left center field. Dominic Brown on the run. He's not going to get it in the air, but he plays it on a hop. And he gets it in quickly to hold Hairston at first.
That's why you play that defense. That has a chance to be a double early in the game in a normal defense, but when you're that deep, that should never be 2. And he gets over and cuts it off. And you stay that way again for another hitter.
And now Todd Fedorovich, the catcher, will be the batter. He has 3 home runs on the season. Breaking ball and a strike. 0-1.
That's a heck of a pitch. It wasn't like it was a great pitch because it was a hanger, but it just absolutely shocked him that he would throw that, and it turns out to be a strike, so he just froze him.
Hairston broke and then stopped. And it's 1-1. I don't think he was going. I think it was just more kind of like Jimmy Rollins does, just breaks from time to time and then stops after a step or so.
You just never know with Davey Lopes down there whether or not he has something with Papelbon, and he's communicated it to Hairston and they want to try.
That'll be out of play. 1-2. Hairston goes. Pitch is hit off the end of the bat, foul, and out of play. A cloudy day here in Philadelphia. Lights have been on for most of the afternoon. It's the final game of this series between the Phils and the Dodgers.
Good day for the fans and the players, really. It's been very comfortable here for an August Sunday when it could just be smoking hot.
It's going to get hot later on this week. In fact, by Wednesday, the temperatures will be back in the high 80s.
Right, and don't play a day game here until next Sunday. So that really helps when you don't play day games on those brutally hot days. Good baseball weather this week, as you say. Hitting weather.
2 strikes. Inside 2-2. That ball just didn't break.
See, that pitch right there, that's the one that gets hit. you throw it on the first pitch and you freeze the guys, they don't expect it. When they have 2 strikes, they're more in a defensive mode, and you hang one like that, they have more of a tendency to have a chance to get it.
Hairston goes again. 2-2, swung on it, missed. He slowed it up just a little bit, and he gets the strikeout of Fedorovich. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left for the Dodgers. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Phils with an opportunity to win it when we return. Stick around after the game for the Phillies postgame show. Mike Missinelli and Larry Boa give you the best analysis in town and break down all of today's action. That's next to the Phillies postgame show live from Sugar House Casino.
Going to keep the left-hander Rodriguez out there for Ashe leading off. Then after that, they go all right-handed. The bench is all right-handed with the exception of Rollins, a left-handed, a switch hitter. And they have a right-hander ready. So a lot of things can happen now.
That's Brandon League, who's in the bullpen. So is Justin DeFreitas for the Phillies. If we go to the 10th inning, there's League. Ashe today is 0 for 3. RBI. His last time up. Corners come in, and it's no balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, on the first pitch at least, they really had him pinching in just in case he decided to bunt his way on off this left-hander. When you see them. And they're going to keep Hairston. Well, now he's going back up a little bit, the first baseman. They're going to keep Uribe up a little bit at third.
Oh, and 2.
This guy's a Darth Vader left-hander on left-handed hitters.
Swing and a miss, and 1 away here in the 9th inning. 3 straight strikeouts for Rodriguez. Casper Wells is coming up.
Mattingly coming out. Here's that slider. Just get a grip on it, and he spins it up there. It starts out pretty much like a strike and then gone.
Oh, now with the right-hander coming up, looks like they're going to go to Brandon League. He's already walking down the stairs out of the Dodgers bullpen. So 4 up, 4 down for Paco Rodriguez. His afternoon is done. Brandon League comes into the ball game for Los Angeles with 1 out here in the 9th inning. This is an AT&T call to the bullpen. The Phillies and the Dodgers tied at 2. batters. 15 pitches, 15 strikes for him, or 11 strikes for him, I should say. Casper Wells will face the right-hander Brandon League, the former closer for the Dodgers. 46th ball game for League. He has 14 saves in 18 opportunities. He's no longer the closer. He's on here to face Casper Wells, who's hitless in 3 at-bats. Wells fouls the first pitch. It's 0-1. Uribe is over toward the line at third. The outfield is straight away. Not as deep in left field for Van Slyke. In fact, he's in a few steps. There'll be a couple of right-handers in a row. It's Wells and then Ruiz.
Brandon League's always had a real good fastball and splitter. Throw a slider is his breaking ball, but he was a 2-pitch pitcher for the most part. Fastball and split.
That one's line foul. And it's 1-2 to Casper Wells. Wells has 1 hit in 12 at bats. That is a fill. Check swing. Did he go? No. Andy Fletcher, the first base umpire. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
This is a split we were talking about. And it dives straight down. He does not go. Good job holding up. And that's been the strikeout pitch for League throughout his career, to throw that split in the dirt like that. You're a hitter right now. You almost think you're going to get a fastball. There's Carlos waiting on deck. They're guarding the line, not real deep in the outfield, guarding the line at third. Big holes you see on the left side. Got to look fastball here.
Ground ball toward the hole. Backhanded by Ramirez. Throws low. Knocked down by Hairston. Wells is safe at first.
Oh, that's a big break for the Phillies there, because Ramirez is good and he makes a throwing error. Hairston over there for his bat today at first base just swipes at this thing and doesn't come up with it. There it is. Not a tough play. Didn't get a real good grip. That's probably why he threw it low. Took a little bit of a funny hop. Then Hairston has no idea where it is. Comes up a little. That's a play first baseman really has to help his infielder on. He did at that time. So they get a break.
So the winning run is over at first for Carlos Ruiz, who is 3 for 3 today. Depending on what the Phillies do with the next batter. It's the pitcher's spot. J.P. Howell starting to throw in the bullpen for the Dodgers. They have Rollins coming out, a switch hitter, of course. Ruiz lines one toward right center field. That's going to be in for a base hit. We can't get it. He cuts it off and throws it into the cutoff man. Wells stops at third. But Puig did a great job. I didn't think he was going to get that ball.
Unbelievable.
I anticipated it was going to get past him and would go to the wall. Instead, it's a single for Ruiz. It puts runners on first and third with 1 man down.
You know, we were just talking about they weren't in the no doubles defense, real deep. And he somehow goes over and cuts this thing off. Look, see, they're not real deep in the outfield. Look at the speed. And he gets over and backhands, cuts that, and gives Soundwall no chance to try and win the game. No chance. Look at how far he goes for this thing. And what a great angle. And then no time at all, he gets it back in and hits a cutoff man. That's just a tremendous play that he makes every way. You're right, Tom. You know, and that ball was hit hard too.
It was. I honestly didn't think I didn't think his ankle was there or anything to get that ball.
That's just what that was is just an amazing athletic play.
Well, now first and third for Jimmy Rollins. Let's see what Don Mattingly decides to do. Does he want Rollins to bat right-handed? He's slowly coming up the stairs. Stops and chats with Tim Wallach. And here he comes. So I think they're going to bring in J.P. Howell to face Rollins. Or do you load up the bases and put it in the hands of Michael Martinez?
Right. There's a lot of things they could be talking about. They could talk about all that. Maybe they're going to play a 5-man infield, which the team does once in a while on certain players. But more than anything, I agree with you. It's one of the first two.
Well, it looks like he's going to keep League in the game. Yeah, that's what he's going to do.
Could be just see if the fish are biting right now. And don't worry about if you walk him. See if he'll get himself out. They have to bring the outfielders in. Ethier out in center field is motioning. Where do you want me? Well, there's no other place to come but all the way in.
Well, they are going to walk Rollins.
Yeah. Makes sense.
That'll load the bases up.
It's hard to believe they're going to let him beat them unless they threw 4 balls in the dirt and hope he would swing or something.
All right, what do you do with Michael Martinez? Do you pinch hit Michael Young for him?
Well, that's what you say. What are your options? Young, McDonald, Mayberry, and Kratz.
There's Michael Young, the weight on the bat. There's ball 4. Rollins potentially walked. Here comes Michael Young. Michael Young has been battling a sore Achilles these last couple of days. That's why he left the game yesterday. So he'll pinch hit. The Phillies pinch hitters have really struggled since the All-Star break. The one pinch hit the Phillies have had since the All-Star break was the base hit by Chase Utley that led to a run.
Michael Young's 3 for 9 lifetime off him with 2 RBIs. Everybody has to come in now for the Dodgers. Infielders too.
Casper Wells at third. He's the winning run. Infield is in. The outfield is in. Michael Young, real set. 3 hits in his career against Brandon Lee. And the first pitch to him. Swing and a miss. 0-1.
Most teams just pitch him away. Stay out there. Start him with a breaking ball.
Well, he's above the average in getting a runner home from third with less than 2 outs. Just going to try to add to it here. He's behind, no balls and 2 strikes.
Back and Puig up in right field now.
And now the 0-2 pitch coming to Michael Young. Down and away, 1-2. 96 on a fastball. Puig has the best arm of the 3.
Does he ever? He saved the game already. I mean, to this point.
Now the 1-2 pitch coming to Young. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. They're trying to get him to fish off the outside part of the plate.
Yeah, we threw him a split that time. And that was a nice play by the catcher, too. The catcher, you throw a split where you got to anticipate in the dirt, and he backhands it, which is a little risky. But it really, when you see that, it didn't hit the dirt.
Now it's 2-2. The infielders back up a little bit. And the pitch. Ground ball towards shortstop. Ramirez has it, bobbles it, and the Phillies are going to win the ball game! The breaks go the Phillies' way as Ryan Sandberg picks up his first win as a Major League manager. Michael Young puts the ball in play, and the Phillies walk off here in the bottom of the 9th inning with a 3-2 victory. He's waited a long time for his first victory as a Major League manager. And it comes on this Sunday afternoon here in Philadelphia. They do charge an error to Hanley Ramirez.
And with one out, they'll probably give him an RBI on it. We'll see. But Hanley Ramirez has a terrible inning, and the Phillies take advantage of it as he makes 2 errors in this inning. And Rhino picks up his first win as a manager, and congratulations to him. Here's our WB Mason delivery of the game. Hanley Ramirez got caught in between here. I think he's thinking, am I going to come home or am I going to go for a double play? It looked like, oh, he was set up to go for a double play. See him take a peek, and now, obviously, the game is over at that point. He had decided as that ball hit to him, he was not going to come home for the force out. He was going to go for a double play to end the inning and keep the game going, and he got nothing out of it.
So that's our WB Mason delivery of the game. Ryne Sandberg, his first managerial win, and he's downstairs with Murph.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Number 1 for Ryne Sandberg as a manager in the big leagues. How does it feel?
It feels great. Going up against the Dodgers, a very hot team. It feels good. Got the first run out of the way early there in the game with Ruffy's home run. So there's a couple of firsts today, but first win, very special.
This team really battled today. It probably would have been very easy for them to just roll over after getting down, but that certainly didn't happen against a really good team. That's got to make you proud.
Well, they did battle, and Cole Hamels hung in there real well and did a great job. He hasn't had a whole lot of luck this year in run support, but it was good that we chipped away and got 2 runs for him, and then come away with the win in the end. It's all worthwhile, a good win.
All right, congratulations to you, Ryan. Go enjoy it with your team. Guys, we'll send it back upstairs.
All right, Murph, thank you very much. Ryne Sandberg, his first victory in a Phillies uniform as the manager of the Philadelphia Phillies. It's taken a long time, and for the Phillies, they end the Dodgers' winning streak at 10 straight. They win it in the bottom of the 9th inning by a final 3-2. And our Chevrolet player of the game, and the guy that helped get the Phillies to the bottom of the 9th inning, and that's Cole Hamels.
Oh, he was outstanding again. Coming off that great game Cole pitched the other night in Atlanta. Had a tremendous changeup. That was some great awareness by him there that first base was not covered, and he had to go make the out himself on Ramirez. Got a strikeout on a high fastball there. His changeup, we mentioned, was really good. There's a strikeout on one. Used his cutter and a few curveballs as the game went along, and just did a tremendous job of working a very, very hot lineup and keeping the ball out of the middle of the plate and getting the job done, as he almost always does. And this time they wind up picking up a win in one of his starts, and they're now 8-18 in his starts this year, which is just amazing. As well as he's pitched, Tom, he is our Chevrolet player of the game, Cole Hamels.
Well, here it is, the final play that helped the Phillies win it. Hanley Ramirez, his second error of the game. As soon as he bobbled it right there, and there was no play at second, there was no chance for them to turn to the double play, and you knew the Phillies were going to win it. They walk off with a 3-2 win, and Ryne Sandberg his first victory as a big league manager. We're back to wrap it up right after this.